Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a whole lot of sahuagin. Just a whole lot. And chat, before...
You can say who again.
Get out of here. Chat, before we continue, before I show you the next round and we go on, I just want to I'm going to zoom the map out just a little bit. Just to kind of show you real quick, just the rest of this level, just so you can see it, chat. So there's here's some insight into the rest of... So, you know, if things don't go well, I have options. We got some things we could...
If
it's
things
fine.
don't go well, things can continue to not go well.
Okay. All right. So, Makaria, it's your turn.
Well, I'm going to start by...
You look behind you for just a moment and you see floating nearby in a black robe and set of scuba gear, you see Merkel. He waves at you with a bony hand.
I love him. I'm going to move forward my little skull 20 feet.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to, let's see. What can I do with this? I'm going to marry 8 and...
You can't get married in the middle of combat. That's not how it works.
I know.
You only formed...
I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, you can.
I don't think Pirates of the Caribbean are an authority on the source of Dungeons and Dragons rules applications.
Okay, well, I'm going to bless the bony hand of Merkel blesses my 3 compatriots.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
You're all blessed by Merkel's...
And then, yeah.
Merkelly touch.
I'm going to stay back here because I look at the approaching tide of Sahuagin and I'm like, no, thank you.
Okay, so I got to add bless.
Yeah, I can bless 2, you priestesses.
There's actually just the one priestess. You've killed like most of their religious class.
Good.
Yeah.
You're like, you know, we didn't need to defeat them. We just needed to erode their culture from within and then leave.
Look, if all the priestesses are dead, who's going to tell them what to do? It's fine.
Mm-hmm. You're going for the culture win, not for the war one. Okay, hang on. I just have to add the...
I'm going to reconnaissance all their priestesses.
I have to add the Sekula.
Existence.
And this has been going on for 2 turns, so she's at 8. Okay. Anything else, Makaria? All right. Speaking of the priestess, she will move...
She dies.
She'll move up.
Of sadness.
What's the range on spiritual weapon?
On casting it.
60 feet? Okay.
Actually, it's 120 feet.
Ooh. Well.
Oh, sorry. Guiding bolt. I was looking at guiding bolt.
Tell us about how high your IQ is.
Spiritual weapon is 60. I don't know why I was looking at guiding bolt.
I really like that, Dave. Thank you for laughing at a joke that was at your expense. Okay.
It was perfect. I couldn't have.
All right. So the priestess conjures up the spiritual trident, which appears here because she can't see any other target. And then that's it for her turn. All right. So junior Sahuagin murder squad. They will move up.
No. Stop going over our heads.
Yeah, and I'm swimming over you, but I'm keeping in mind attacks of opportunity, so that one can't go any further. All right, so the baby Sahuagin, they swim in there, and there are 5 of them, I believe. There are. Okay, so Makaria, I get a 5. No, wait, you have you're bleeding.
For me?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not. That's you're all the way back here. He doesn't throw a spear at you. This is at
yeah,
Ren.
I was like,
I got a 12,
really
Ren. So it's the first one's a miss, and then a bite, and this one is a 13. That's also. Was that a hit on you?
That's a hit. But
Okay.
I'm cutting words it, and I don't need to.
Yeah, don't bother rolling. Okay. All right. Stab, bite, flail, trying to get you. Can't get you. That's this one. Next up, this one is gonna go after 8. This is the only one that can attack 8.
Come on, bro.
So advantage. 22.
Yeah, I'll do.
8 piercing damage.
Oh, God.
And then a bite attempt with advantage is a crit, Makaria, unless you'd like to reduce it. Now, this is the beginning of the fight, and these guys are the weakest of all of the shark folk, so.
I'll save it. Yeah, I'm not gonna
6 more damage. 8. Okay, and then 2 on Jewel. 14. 16.
That's a hit.
Okay, for 4 piercing.
Uh,
There's one more with 2 attacks coming at you.
yeah, I'll take the 4.
Okay, so you take 4. Second one, 12 and a 22.
That hit, definitely
Okay,
hit.
and that one hits for 3.
There's more coming.
There's lots more coming. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take another 3.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Deep divers. So these ones are, we got 4 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay.
All right, so here's my idea. We kill them and their
8,
bodies.
you can make an attack of
will-
opportunity on this one. It's gonna swim. It's gonna swim
Yeah.
past you towards Makaria.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him.
Yeah, because he started off here. So let me.
Is a 15 to hit on the deep dive.
15 is a hit. Yes.
Okay, I hit him and I'm marking.
He keeps
10 points of
swimming.
damage.
So
And I'm marking.
okay. So he's over here.
Okay.
He doesn't get to attack you, Makaria, but he swims by. So the deep divers, these ones you see, I'll give you a quick description of them. They have been transformed by the magic of Sekola. Their body and fins are all much like sleeker. They look built for speed and stealth. They're like darker, but they also have on their forehead a some kind of like bulb or something, and this one's currently turned off. It's deactivated. I'll let you know what happens when they use the bulb, if they do. All right, so that's one deep diver.
Is this like a deep sea ocean like light trap? Like
Okay, so this one moves and then it gets to attack, and it's going to attack. Let's attack 8. It has a glaive, which I guess is a kind of spear axe. So it gets a glaive attack, and it's gonna attack 8. So 8. Here's the first attack. It's a 21, barely misses, and the second glaive attack. This one is a crit. Makaria, would you like to make it not a crit, or do you want to know how much
I
damage?
mean, we don't know yet how much damage these people do, so I'll make it not a crit, and
Okay.
we'll just like see how it goes.
Okay, 8. You take 11 slashing damage.
Okay.
That was probably a good shout. Thank you.
Yeah, and then 2 more deep divers.
We're dead.
Oh yeah, we're definitely fucked.
We are dead.
Okay, 8. You get. Oh, you've already used your attack of opportunity. Rin, you can attack of opportunity if you want, as this
Hey,
one like
we
swims
took
past
photos.
you.
I'm good.
Or actually, no, you don't, because he's gonna stay where he is. He doesn't leave your threat range, just 8s. And then this one.
Oh, did I get an attack of opportunity against him too?
You can attack of opportunity 1, yeah. Do it.
All right, I'm gonna roll against somebody. I definitely could have.
Wild stabbing. Anything we can get our hands.
20.
Kill them.
Okay. Yes, that's a hit on the one that just went by.
Terrible damage roll.
Okay, so yeah, you slash at him as he goes by, and he takes some damage. You kind of make out one as it swims by. It doesn't come up the hallway. It goes this direction.
No. Don't go get more.
Okay, so now
How
Carl and the Smashers. They're gonna swim in here. There's just like no room for these dudes.
God, thank fuck for that.
Okay, so this one, anybody who has an attack of opportunity left can make it.
Rin does.
I guess me. I don't know if it came past me. Okay.
Well, there's one at least that came past you because it's engaged with me.
All right, cool. I'll hit it with a longsword.
Okay.
I miss.
All right.
Probably.
And then that one. And that one. Okay. All right. 8. It's your turn.
I'm just gonna stab in a random direction. That one. This one.
Okay. All right.
Because I mean, it's got 2 attacks. You just kill things as fast as possible. Just stab it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
12 points marked.
Killed. It dies. You don't have to mark it. It's dead.
Guy, go in front of me. Stab.
In front of you, like down here.
Yeah, 12.
That's a hit.
Hey. 15.
Dead. Killed.
Yeah.
Ah,
They've been fire tenderized, so you're just chopping through them without too much.
Oh shit. Obviously it doesn't count, but Elf, the 12, you didn't roll bless. You have bless.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll your bless, Elf.
I don't think it will matter.
Against a deep diver, it might. Depends on how well you roll. No, it didn't, but it was close. Okay.
There's one always a miss in this game.
On an attack roll, yes.
Okay, then you didn't kill that other one.
Not on a skill check, but on an attack roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? 8?
Wait, is that considered a critical fail?
No, there's no such thing.
Then why is one always?
No, but there's no such thing as a term a critical fail. You can't undo it with your magic.
Okay, yeah, it's only a critical hit. Okay.
There's no such thing. It's just an automatic miss.
I'll push him over instead. For fun.
Okay.
Aren't they swimming? Are they immune to prone?
Whatever. I'll push him over.
You
anyway.
push him gently away from you. He glides away and then comes back. Is that at 8?
Yeah, pushing him down 28.
All right. Leading from the front, the champion of the sahuagin swims forth to meet you in combat. 8.
Just kill us.
So big beefy sahuagin comes up and is going to make some attacks. So spear attack. Here we go. 1. Miss. No, 23 because they have advantage. It's 23. Okay. 10 piercing.
Okay.
Second attack. This one is a crit, Makari, if you'd like to do something about it.
Is this the champion?
This is the champion, yeah.
And actually, it's not been my turn yet, so.
Okay, I'm good. Stab.
Okay, 12 piercing damage, 8.
Okay.
And the third attack is a miss.
Okay.
All right, and that's the. Oh, hold on, he's blessed. that one might not be a miss. 19, 20, 21. It's still a miss, but just barely. Okay, all right, Jewel, it's your turn.
Well.
I pushed that one over.
Push which one?
One in front of me. Are they actually?
I stabbed that one. Do I actually have advantage against it?
No.
Is it prone?
Well, I don't know. So how does it work if you can swim? You can be knocked prone, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that says there's nothing that's in the rules that says a giraffe can't play football. All right, let me roll. You got like a 28. Okay, so this one I got a 21. I got a crit, but you have a higher crit. So
I have a better crit.
My crit is better.
All right.
24. Yep.
27.
Stab him.
Stab him. Stab him dead.
Kill.
Get him.
I used sneak attack on my.
Doesn't matter. You got it back.
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Oh, it's my
I
turn.
haven't used it yet.
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't-
per turn, not
thank
per
you.
round.
Yep.
As well.
God, I'm rolling
It
terribly.
doesn't
on
matter. He's
sneak
dead.
attack.
You kill
He's
him.
dead.
That is the worst.
Killed.
Cool.
Slash.
Bonus action.
Kills me
Do we
as
want to
well.
all stand in a line? I'm gonna kill another one of the small ones. She'll kill the one that's.
That one? There's like 2 of them in front of you. They're both equally burnt.
Yeah.
That's it.
17?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, it should not
Okay.
have rolled the sneak attack, so 5 damage.
Okay.
It got confused. I
All right.
turned it off, but it didn't like it.
You stab it, but not to death. Just
Not quite.
it hurts.
I don't quite make a fish kebab.
Okay. All right. Do you want to move at all, Jewel? Or are you good where you are?
Where to?
There's a door behind you. There's like a room back there.
We've clarified that the doors are still 10 feet tall. So,
Yes.
like, unless we want to
Yeah, so we can
close
shut the
it.
door,
You can shut the door. The doors are also 10 feet tall, but yeah.
but we'll run out of breathing.
That's true. You can max. You'll max out 16 hours from now. You'll all suffocate.
Yeah.
I'd
that's
rather
the-
go down fighting.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so would I. So,
I don't have to breathe. Yes,
yeah, Jewel
thank you,
stays there.
Adam.
All right.
We will live forever. Never mind.
Okay. So you briefly see some sharks, some familiar shark silhouettes swim by this way, following that deep diver. All right.
They're
Rin.
coming around behind us. All right. Not that they need to, because we're already flanked to shit. I think the best thing I can do
Cast fireball on us. Just to
It's
put yourself up.
just self-immolate. I think that is like the best. Honestly.
I believe in you.
But also, I could step back in aura of vitality and try and stay in the room and heal people because it's like a 30-foot aura, but it's not enough, quick enough. We're still going to go down like really hard. So I think I just recon the crap out of this and just blow a fireball directly at my feet.
I mean, the thing is, you're standing right behind 8, so you just like.
I mean, let's see if I can do this without hitting like some of us.
So if you throw it down here, what do you got? You got.
Hang on, I'm working on it. So I can hit like a bunch of stuff down here without hitting us, but that doesn't seem very effective in terms of like what we actually need to kill.
So those dudes have got super low health. They, based on the amount of damage that they've taken, even if you only did the 11 again, I think they would still
I
die.
think they would die.
The wee ones.
The base level sahuagin, yeah, they're very smushy.
Yeah, it's like
Even Carl Smasher doesn't have that many hit points.
between like 20 and 25 health, I think.
So here's the
At the
question.
very least, that would more easily clear our retreat.
You
I
did that
have the
with 21.
highest deck save, so there's a reasonable chance I'll beat a 15. I need
I
to
mean,
roll.
I don't even need to hit you if we're just hitting these guys at the back.
Yeah, if you want to just try to clear the front and make your way that way.
But
Yeah,
it's just
one
like
way.
we've got like all kinds of badness like tied up on us at the top as well. That I'm like, even if I hit it, it probably won't die anyway.
Here's the thing: if we can disengage,
If we can disengage, they'll still be faster than us. Chase us
well,
down.
yeah, but at least we can start moving out. I don't know.
Maybe, are you level 10 yet? Can you,
No, I'm not level 10.
Marco,
You know what?
please, and then you
this is
roll a d10.
over here,
something.
Adam.
Okay, so you're gonna
Just
drop
roll
it
a
right
D10
on
and
that
that's your
trident.
new level.
I hit it same place as last time.
Okay,
Okay.
Actually,
so it's gonna hit all of these nerds right here.
and
Okay,
just fucking
yeah, roll damage.
Whatever.
Kill 'em.
It's fine. I don't care.
Kill them all.
It's still not very good, but
All right.
it's a little better.
13 or
4,
6.
6.
All right, so this one is dead no matter what. So he
Hell
just
yeah.
dies. I'm not gonna bother saving for him.
God.
This one might live, but then again, who does? So let's see. Dex save on this nerd. He gets a 5, so he is dead.
Yes. Love that.
So they're just burning up. This one, this baby Suhugan, this regular dude. Dex save. This one crits the save, so gets
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, so that's it for the regular Suhugan. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Carl Smashers to do. Okay.
And if the priestess is lurking around,
She's not. No, she's far enough back. Carl Smasher. I need 4 of these. Are any of these guys blessed? Yes. 3 of the 4 are blessed. Okay, so we'll do the first 3 with blessing. 1, 2, and 3. One of them, maybe the blessing will help. That middle guy. Yes. Okay, so 2 saves. 2 saves and a fail. So 11 or 6. 6. And the failure takes 13. Okay. And then 1 unblessed smasher. And this guy, I roll a 16. So he takes 6. Okay. All right. You've softened up the way forward.
That's all I got. So
Okay. Yes,
if I
chat.
move, I'll die. So I'm just
Coral.
gonna stay where I am.
Carl. Coral. Carl.
Yeah, that's how that
It's
goes.
like my favorite action movie actor, Coral Weathers. All right, Makaria, it's your turn.
I am suddenly surrounded.
Yeah. You got like guys with glaives and hammers all up in your shit.
I don't like it.
No, it's not good.
Use
Um,
wait.
Disengage.
Yeah, you also have your
disengaged to where?
yeah,
you
like
can
you
stand on
can't you can't stay you can't end your turn above a creature, but you can disengage and you can swim over them. It's just slow going.
You can also stand in the.
But I could not get into like the
Coves.
farthest I could get is right here, and that's
Yeah.
still surrounded by them.
Yeah.
So like, I cannot end my turn. If I disengage, that's an action. My movement is 15 feet.
Yeah, you're pretty
Go-
stuck where you are.
Go north.
Disengage straight
So-
to her.
Go up and to meet the flankers. Sure.
Hide in a room somewhere, lock the door.
I think the hallway went around the temple, didn't it? We didn't go one of
We
the
went
directions.
into the temple. You can go into the temple.
When you were
bottom.
standing in the entrance to the temple, there's the altar straight ahead, and there was another door on the other side of the temple.
Yeah.
There was also a door at the bottom of the temple.
There is also
so
the main front door to the temple, but yeah.
they very much can flank us. Anywho, I will because my concentration's on bless right now.
The question becomes whether this is Hamburger Hill or Benny Hill.
Right. I will inflict wounds on the fellow in front of me.
When you say in front, do you mean Zorth? East?
I mean,
Which direction do you imagine you're facing?
I mean the east.
Okay,
way.
the easternmost
the fellow
guy.
that has the
Okay.
net on him.
Yeah, do it.
He no longer has the no on him. But
Does a
Yeah,
19
that's right.
hit?
Right. It does. Yes, you strike him. The 19.
Okay, he takes 20 necrotic
damn.
damage.
Okay. He is
And then
partially
I will-
necrotized.
And then I will move my little skull boy to occupy this. Well, I mean, he can be next to me.
Okay, sure.
okay,
And he will attack the same
Same dude?
fella
Okay.
diagonally.
I believe.
27.
Hot damn. Nice. That spiritual
Merkel
weapon is
loves
great.
me.
You get personally headbutted by Merkel.
12.
12, another 12 damage. Okay, all right. So this deep diver is being battered around.
And then
battered
Makaria
fish.
like screams a scream of like basically like she took it a level in barbarian.
Mhm. Comes out all bubbly.
Is the type of scream. She accepts her death. If this is how it is, this is how it is.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. The sahuagin priestess. She moves up here to see what the F is going on. And then she's gonna move her spiritual weapon. It can only move 20 feet. And then I don't know, does she have any good spells? We've been over this. She doesn't. She's gonna guiding bolt 8.
Whoa.
Yeah, her only spell. All right, so a bolt of light comes hurling towards you, 8. I get a 16, so it misses because she's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so she's got 3 of those, and she casts 1 of these, so she has 2 left. Okay, all right. So that is the Sahuagin priestess's turn. Are there any regular Sahuagin left? Yes, there's one brave tadpole, and he swims up to you, 8, and attempts to murder you.
Okay.
He gets a 16,
No.
and then he gets a 17. Just gnawing on your shield, trying to stab you, and it's no good.
It's no problem.
All right, deep divers. 1, 2. Is this? No, that's a champion. 1, 2, 3. Thought I had more. Oh, they're just still further back. 4. Okay, all right. So, Makaria, you get attacked by a deep diver with a glaive.
Sick.
Yeah, here comes that action. Let me find its character sheet. Here we go. This is a crit. This is a 24.
No, thank you.
Okay, so you take 6 damage.
That's better.
And then I crit you again.
Mother of God.
I'm so sorry. This time, you can't cancel 2 in a row, right?
No.
Okay, this time you take 14 damage.
Goodbye,
and then
cruel world.
The deep diver on the other side of you.
Wait, I have to make a bless check.
Oh, yeah, right.
So Constitution, I
Nice, you're
crit
good.
for the first one. And the second one I fail, so you're not blessed anymore.
Okay, all right. So everybody feels the blessings of Merkel. I'll slip away. That's it for my turn. For the divers. Oh no, there's one diver that's gonna attack 8. So 8. Hold on. I just took away one of the divers. There you go. Okay, so 8, this one's gonna attack you.
Come at me, bro.
1. I got a 23.
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay, for 18 slashing.
Huh.
And then a second one as a miss.
Okay.
Okay, and then Coral Smashers. We got 2 on Makaria. And 1, 2 on Jewel. Okay. All right, so Makaria. Coral Smasher number 1. Okay, character sheet. There you are. I got a 7, and then I got an 18.
That's a hit.
11 damage.
I'm down.
Okay. Blub. Okay, and then the Coral Smashers on Jewel.
No smashing.
11, a 14, a 21
That's a hit.
for 9.
Okay.
And
Gonna half that one.
yeah, do you want to have that one? There's one
Yeah,
more
I'll
attack.
have that one to
Okay.
5.
Okay, and then you take another 4.
Down.
Yeah, and for folks asking, like, what about morale checks for, like, Sekola? The Sahuagin only have one response to their feelings, and that's rage, and they're already in it.
They have blood rage.
Yeah, all they're doing is blood rage. They're just, like, in a frenzy right now. Yeah.
You killed the big shark.
Okay,
The old shark.
8, your turn.
Let's kill as many as we can before we die.
Yeah, do it.
Right to the south of me. 16. That's a hit. Kill him. 11. He's dead.
He is dead.
3.
I assume that's the little guy, so yeah, he's toast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else has taken damage?
All of them. They've all been fireballed.
I will have honorable.
If you
combat.
step forward, the one right here looks pretty badly fucked up. Actually, both of these Coral Smashers up front. But
Yeah,
you'll
right.
get attack of opportunity from the glaive
Well.
dude next to you. Whatever. Forget him. Okay.
I don't care.
So he's gonna try to glaive you.
Don't touch me. Don't you dare.
I got a 17. He misses.
Yes.
Do it.
Stab the guy who's taken the most damage. 23.
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah, 11 more.
Okay.
You don't have bless anymore.
20.
Yeah, the 20 still hits, but yeah, the blessing. All right, so you step up. Okay. Good. Okay.
Is he dead?
All right. No, he's still alive.
I use my second action surge that I just got.
Get out of here.
Super.
If you say it fast and with authority, it doesn't mean that you just get it. All right.
Let's try it.
Sahuagin champion time. The champion's pissed because you
Not
aren't
pushing
paying
that guy
attention.
over.
You want to push him?
Screw you.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna push him over.
Okay. He can attack of opportunity with a claw. They have claws. So he's holding the glaive, and as someone moves away, he goes, ha, and slashes you.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, 13 for which were you knocking down?
I don't know.
Okay, because it doesn't matter because they're gonna get up on their turn. So okay, so the champion gets up and is gonna attack you.
Come on, you boy.
Okay, so let's see here. Spear. I get a crit.
Cool.
Okay, I assume Makaria can't do anything about that.
Not when I'm
Oh,
unconscious.
you're dead.
No.
9. Okay, so you take 9 piercing damage. Then I
Ow.
miss. And then I get 20. Oh no, the champion's blessed. So hold on. Let me see if that miss is actually a hit. 21, and then the last attack is a 22.
No, 22 is enough to hit you, right? Is it?
Yeah, it's a 22
It's
that
my-
becomes a 24 because of bless.
But it's a 24 that becomes whatever it is.
Yeah, do
now.
it.
Whoa!
No. All right, you take 11 piercing
That
damage.
is
Oh,
two
okay.
ones on that.
Yeah, that's really bad. No one is easily mocked anymore. they're inured to your insults.
Oh.
Jewel, it is your turn.
Should Jewel just make a run for it?
Yes.
Do it.
Yes.
I'm just gonna fireball my feet and just kill everyone.
Rin just like the time has come. Goodbye, everyone.
Well, not even goodbye, everyone. Just torch.
I
You
feel
got your
bad
predator
leaving you all
gauntlet.
behind.
Beep, beep,
I don't know
beep.
if I can make it though. You know what? Fuck it. Jewel tries. All right. She's flighty. Jewel's like, you're all great. I'll tell your story when you're dead. And then she
Run.
bonus action to disengage, and then I
Okay.
am going to dash for my action, so I should be able to
Right.
and use my cat movement, so I can do a total of 9.
Go, Jewel, go.
Now, but remember, you're in slow,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
of the water.
Yeah. So normally I could do 6 times 3, which is, but I can do half of that.
90 instead
I
of
can do
180.
9 squares.
Okay.
Right?
Except for your bonus
Well,
action.
you got to
to
disengage. So you don't get 3 turns of movement. You get 2.
So you get 2 turns of movement, so you can move 60.
Well, I dash and then I double my movement.
Yeah, but you don't have a bonus action to do whatever.
So
dash.
it's double
use
for the
your
whole
bonus
for the whole turn. Your movement rate is 60, right?
Yeah. So
Which
that
is cut down to 30. You
30.
use an action to disengage, which leaves you with 30 feet of movement, and then a bonus action, another 30 feet of movement, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you get 60 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think
So
this is the right spot?
yeah. So you come around the corner and you see 4 shell sharks floating a mere
You know, hopefully they're not looking.
a
at
mere
us.
30 feet away from you.
I'm looking the other way.
And then on the other side, a Sahuagin champion, the priestess, and some
it's
more.
fine.
And
fine.
it's
They were-
the shell shark's turn. And they turn around and they swarm you. So
Do they not have a
Can we-
job? Are they
can
not
we-
going somewhere?
Look, can we fade to black on this? Jeez, this is horrific.
Fucking ridiculous.
the shell sharks, hang on a second.
You supposed to not fight the giant shark? Is that what you're supposed to be? I don't even know what.
Like, you're supposed to die.
We're supposed to sneak.
So
I also don't have the like fog of war on the map, so I didn't remember
Stupid.
what is your armor class, Jewel?
that. 16.
Okay. All right. You are hit for 10 piercing damage.
She goes down.
Okay. And then we fade away from you being torn to pieces by the other sharks.
Jesus.
Rin,
quit.
it's your turn.
Quit right now.
All right, here we go, Vegeta style. I'm just gonna fireball my fucking feet. Here we go.
Do it.
Yes!
Okay, all right. So
I
you
look
cast
around.
fireball on
I
yourself.
look around. I am the only person conscious, and I just go. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You're totally alone now. Okay. All right. So you hurl the fireball at your feet. Roll damage.
Whew.
Thinking so hard.
Damn it.
Okay, 21. All right. So 21 is reduced to.
It doesn't even kill me.
10.
I'm horribly burned. Why? All right, 10 or 5. Rin, make a saving throw against your own magic.
It doesn't even kill me. Fucking- I fail to save, but it doesn't even kill me anyway.
Just don't fly.
You're like, I don't want to live in this world anymore, and you stab yourself in the thigh with a knife, and you're like, ow. I can't even do that right. It hurts so bad. All
I
right.
was like, I'll just torture myself. Wait a second.
So you fireball everyone around you, which kills
20-foot radius.
it kills this one. Yeah, 20 radius kills that guy, that crawl smasher. I guess Makaria and 8 just mark one more failed death save
Okay.
from the fire. Let me roll, I guess, for these nerds. Okay.
My word as I cast the fireball into the ground at my feet is recon.
Recon. All right. So that's a coral smasher. This one's a coral smasher. Okay, so that one takes. This fireball's doing well. This one fails. So that one takes 10. This one is a deep. Do we have any more coral smashers? We have one more. Okay. This one takes 3. Okay, so 3. This guy takes a bunch of damage, takes 10. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 deep divers and 1 champion. Okay. Deep diver 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think they all save. It's their best save. One of them fails. So this one takes 10. The rest take 5.
I'm drafting up my next kobold, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking a tabaxi monk.
Go back to the population.
I've got the mask for it. I can just like,
And then the champion. The champion.
Yeah, what can we reuse from our cosplay?
I think I fit your breastplate. So like we could just like swap.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So the champion takes 10 damage. All right.
Except for as a monk, you wouldn't wear a
Makaria, can you make a death save, please?
Yes, I can. I get a 2.
Okay. So that's 2 out of 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay. The priestess is going to move the trident up and attack Rin with it. That's what you get. This is what you get for killing my god. She says in Sahuagin.
I think we all know what we get.
21.
Yeah.
For 7 damage.
Sweet, I'm still alive.
Okay. All right. There are no more regular. Oh, there's one regular Sahuagin. It swims over.
Where did he come
I
from?
thought that was the priestess.
Is that the priestess? Oh, they use the same token. You're right. That is the priestess.
I was like, otherwise,
No.
where is the priestess?
So I can take that off there. Okay, deep divers then. Okay, it's a matter of time on this one. So first attack. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me reveal what the thing does. Can you make a DC 11 Wisdom save, please?
Okay. The thing. What is the thing? I got a 10.
Okay, so the first deep diver turns to you, and a faint glow starts to emerge from this bulbous thing on its head. The thing floats forward on a long antenna and hangs in front of it, pulsing with light. You become hypnotized by the floating light and can think of nothing else. You're charmed by this thing just long enough for the other ones to stab you in the chest with their glaives.
I'm feeling like this is kind of like overkill. Like you charmed.
He just wanted to show off his cool toy.
I know.
Let's see if any of them hit you. Yes, the last one finally hits you for 7 slashing damage, and you fade into unconsciousness. So
and the sahuagin rip us to pieces.
Yeah, so we fade out, and this is the thing about the sahuagin is that they're a dangerous foe because as a GM you can't like pull back because they're all bloodthirsty. Right? I don't know how they ever take prisoners. It seems incongruous. But so here's the thing: so we fade out, and then we fade back in, and we see a complex looking aquarium. Right? We see this big glass box.
Oh no!
And in it there are a bunch of plastic. Like plasticky looking like carved figures painted in bright colors. Some of them are little fishmen with hammers. Others have spears. And they're all in this like little sandbox and there's some castles around. And then we see 4 like cartoonish looking, like obvious caricatures of each of the characters, right? So we see this like really like overwrought, giant, terrifying machine robot guy. We see like a little cat, only like Rain, you just look like a cat, but with like human clothes on. Yeah, we see Arjul and we see Rin with like the thing. And so they're all in there and they're all lying down and we hear a voice as this hand comes down into the water, this very human hand, wrinkly human hand, comes down into the water and picks Rin up. And it's like, I'm Rin. I'm so annoying. I insult everyone. You're a shark. You're a shark. And then he grabs another one and stabs you with another hand. And all of the sharks pile on top of you. And we fade back and we see Halaster and he's like, elbow deep in his aquarium playing with these little toys. And from off screen, we hear someone clear their throat like, and Halaster looks up. He's like, what? I'm very busy with wizard stuff. And the voice is like, Master, shouldn't you be attending to the dungeon? And he's like, oh, yeah, the dungeon, right. And he turns and he holds his hands up and they're all dripping. He's like, get me a towel. And he like walks off screen as we fade out.
Beach episode.
So,
worst beach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's fine. We got a delicious taste of Saltmarsh. I think for all of you, maybe this is just a bad dream that happened one night while resting in the dungeon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Halaster dumped you into his nightmarish dimension where such things are possible as an infinite number of sharks and anyone else worships Merkel besides Macaria.
Yeah. When would that ever happen? That doesn't seem real.
Right? You should have known that it was a bad dream when the premise was other people agree with Macaria. What nightmare dimension is this?
Not real. Fake news.
Right. I like that in chat. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. They're action figures.
The thing I'm like confused about is like, unless you have a full party of rogues, how in the
recon
fuck are you supposed to do this?
Yeah, I think
the answer is it was a first edition thing. So you weren't, and then they put it over. And they thought people would be nicer because it's 5th edition. But then we won, and then we die.
So I'm not entirely certain. It's an interesting adventure because it's the least traditional of the set of 3 that make up the Saltmarsh adventures, right?
Yeah.
Like the adventurers they were talking about before, those would be players if you were of the right level. So for example, like the sinister secret of Saltmarsh is you show up and something is going on in the town of Saltmarsh. You are first to third level and you investigate like what is the sinister secret of Saltmarsh. That leads you into the second adventure, whose name I can never remember, which which leads you into this one, which is Danger at Dunwater, and then into the third one. And those are all included in this, but it's like you figure out those kind of like bits and pieces of the adventure as you go along. And then this is meant to be like, go in, find out the deal with them, thwart them as much as you can, and then get out.
So I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Do we still level up?
Yes, totally.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes!
absolutely.
So we're
Yeah.
level 7 now?
You can totally level up. Yeah.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get my
Best
player's
peach.
handbook.
I believe the final enemy in question is meant to be like the sahuagin in general, right? That they are the final enemy.
Just the Sahuagin?
Yeah, like this fortress of Sahuagin are meant to be the final enemy. And in the adventure, the conclusion of the adventure concludes if the heroes achieve their objective and return safely to Saltmarsh. And then if you want to continue, you can go on into the assault, which is where the attack of Saltmarsh's militia with help and all of that. And there's like a little victory point value thing. So like the way that this works, if you do the adventure and you do that part, this is how the adventure wins, right? So we didn't talk about this because it was a mechanical thing, but the way it works is the forces that attack the fortress from Saltmarsh, you give them victory points based on how many things you've killed in the dungeon. So if you kill, for every regular Sahuagin, you earn 1 victory point. If you kill a Sahuagin champion, you earn 3. A coral smasher is worth 5. Opening the area 1 gate and like breaking it or forcing it so it stays open so they can't drop it, that earns you another 15 points. If you never raise an alarm, you get 25 more points. If you manage to kill Blade Master Makat or Baron Kepmak, you get 10 and 25 points respectively.
Yeah, I killed him.
No, you didn't. You never even met him. So you accumulate these points to go into the assault, and then you can join the assault as part of like a return. So if you get as you play, as you do things during the fight, you can get more, so you can help increase those victory points. And the idea is that at the end of the adventure, if somehow you don't get any points, it's considered failure, and Saltmarsh gets destroyed, basically. The GM is empowered to give you, like, I would give you points for stealing all of the weapons, right? I would give you points for like other things that you did during the adventure. Like I was making notes as we went along. So there's basically 3 kinds of victory. If you get 50 points, less than 50 points, it's a Pyrrhic Victory. So the Sahuagin escape but aren't like permanently routed, and they might come back later. You get basically you get 700 gold and free passage to fuck off. They're like, yeah, thanks for trying. Here's 700 gold and free passage on a ship going anywhere within a week. Go ahead and take it.
Oh.
If you get 51 to 125 victory points, you get 1,000 gold, and they give you a magic item.
Magic sword.
And then total victory is 126 points or higher. And if you manage to kill Baron Kepmak during the adventure or after the adventure or like during the raid, the Sahuagin break up no matter what happens if you assassinate him. And then you get some other.
What about God double head?
Nah, he's just a big monster.
He doesn't even give victory points.
No, you don't get any bonus victory points for him. It's more about the cohesion, because remember, he's big and scary, but like the Sahuagin, it's about like the people keeping them in control. I agree that he's probably worth something, but he's not on the table. So like, you know, maybe give him like 5 or 10 or whatever. Yeah.
You kill their god, not worth anything.
Yeah. So it's interesting in that it has a different reward system than your normal like go in, kill a bunch of stuff, and get out. You know, because there are situations like this. I wonder if I can turn off here. I'm gonna turn off for the sake of chat and for your edification. I'm gonna turn off the the lighting so you can see the whole map. Let's turn the lights on.
Okay.
It's closing time. Let's see here.
I'm trying to decide. I guess I'm gonna just go for a 7th level in Rogue, but I feel like at some point I've considered multi-class.
Ooh, to what?
Something
know.
weird's happened. Adam, I've broken it.
What have you done?
I'm moving the map around as opposed to
Oh,
like.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
what
you
is-
sure did. How did you do that,
I
Dave?
can't go into monk because my wisdom's not high enough.
Stop it.
But it's tempting. Fighter is always.
Yeah, well, Dave broke the universe. Let me fix it.
I think I figured I could do
I did
warlock.
fix it. You broke it.
Warlock would be sweet.
That's you.
Good.
Go
Yes,
weapon,
it
go
is
weapon
broken.
warlock, and then have a warlock dagger.
Anyway, that
Yeah.
was one room of like triple that number of guys. So you have lots of opportunity to get victory points, but the idea is that you can go in, kill off some of them, bail out. I think it was just that you got caught up in too many at once. If you had
Yeah.
gone in and killed the first, it's interesting because if you're used to a more traditional style of adventure where you're like, we want to go in and murder a bunch of shit and take their treasure and defeat them, it can feel weird being like, well, we cleared the first level and we bailed out.
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and as Dave pointed out, it was the adventure's core premise, which is the same, was designed during a time where characters were way more ablative than they are now. Like, even though it took about as long, maybe longer, to make an AD&D character, it was the idea that your character would die and you would just play another one was significantly more prevalent. So a party going in and having 3 people die and 1 person get out, or everyone die and then making a new party and going in after them would have been a lot more normal
Do you
than
know what?
than it is in 5th edition, for sure.
Do you know what would be really interesting to me?
Mm.
To think about how sahuagin work in this, because what felt the least balanced to me was the amount of sahuagin as ablative troops, because of their stacking of both advantage and multi-attack, makes them incredibly strong half CR creatures.
Yep.
And whether or not it would have made more sense and we would have done a lot better if they'd created a new low tier unit,
Like a
which
baby
is not as
Sahuagin
good.
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's their lowest thing, I assume, that they have to work with. So when they put a bunch of those in, they're incredibly strong.
Yeah. Well, advantage is a thing, and we'll talk about. I'll grab my monster manual. And we'll talk about the base level Sahuagin in AD&D. But I want to answer some questions from chat. So, to be fair, it's a fortress. The alarm was raised at the door. Why wouldn't you get 200 enemies? So the game, the module explicitly says they don't patrol the first level. They just don't. They don't send patrols up there. They don't feel comfortable hanging out. It's a bad deal to have to work on the first level. So any chaos you cause on the first level, the worst it can do is pull the first level. There's only one alarm. There's the gong, and the gong only reaches a certain distance. So the I don't want to say easy mode, but like the stage 1, and you saw this in the adventure. The adventure only gets hard after the first floor, right? That's where you start encountering the sharks and the big guy and a bunch of other stuff. So you can go in, you can get all the victory points off the first level. You can return and say, we cleared the first level and there's going to be a lot more, but this is what we did so far. So that is an option. If you press on, it's like a lot more difficult, but you can earn a lot more victory points by doing that. So that's one thing that's different about the adventure.
I think that's one of the things as a player, like I never felt like leaving was an option.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I'm so used to adventures where it's like, once you're in the dungeon, you're like kind of committed to the dungeon, and leaving it's like,
Well, I felt like we could have left, but we wouldn't have known anything about the thing. So we wouldn't have actually done
But
the
I
job we were sent there for.
I didn't feel like we could leave and come back and be like, cool, we did our first part of our recon. We're going to like recoup ourselves.
Yes.
And, like, go back
I
in.
think the intent is you get one shot at it. I don't think the intent is go recon, come back, go, like you don't go back and forth. I think it's sort of a Darkest Dungeon type situation where you're like, we go in as deep as we can, we bail out and we never come back. Like that's what we did. And now basically when you return to town, however good you did, it fills up the bar. And then you're like, there you go. You got a B+ on reconnaissance. So we get a bonus for the next thing.
And that gives you like, that's an interesting, as a player, like it's a really fine balance. Like at what point have you overextended yourself? And often you don't know as a player until like,
well, so this is the question, right? Like would it, like how much game information do you give your players? Like if I told you at the beginning, you get victory points for the number of guys you kill, like knowing the game. That's another question. So as a GM, if you want to, as a dungeon master, if you're playing this at home yourself, try telling your players you're going to get victory points for the number of monsters that you kill while you're down there. Plus there are some bonus objectives and you can get bonuses for those. So go ahead, go in as deep as you want, and then bail out whenever you think you've made enough points. It's kind of like a board game in that way, in that there are some games that don't check the points till the end, and you don't really know total how many you've had until you get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that if this were being played like an AD&D game, would the goals of the players be laid out in advance?
No. It's the same. That definitely hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think descriptively the word recon does not.
Yeah, but remember, we hooked on recon, not the game doesn't use that word.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, go there, check it out is not what the goal is. The goal there is go there, beat them up.
Yeah. I think that's a given though, because you're D&D characters, right? Like you don't have.
I agree.
Yeah, you could make an alternate version of this adventure for another game where everyone had stealth abilities, where you would get a point for like flagging each individual monster. But yeah. So Dave, for and this isn't without going too deeply into like how AD&D works, but some stats from the AD&D sahuagin. They have an armor class of 5,
which sucks.
Which is pretty shit, yeah. But their AC is crap too in 5th edition.
Yes.
Their movement rate is about the same. They have 2 + 12 hit dice, so between 4 and 20. So less hit points overall.
Less hit points, but you do less damage.
Yes, you do less damage. They get 4 attacks, so they get 1 attack or 4 attacks, 1 with a weapon, but their 4 attacks are like claw, or like bite, claw, and they're 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. So they get a ton of like little scratchy, bitey attacks.
But they're not with advantage as well.
So they have there's no advantage. They have special attacks and special defenses, but I
reckon those are weaker.
They're definitely weaker, yeah. It's possible for an unarmed sahuagin to attack 3 or 5 times in a round if they can rake with their legs. Yeah, and I don't see they just give you a lot of information about how many other sahuagin they are. Let's do a comparison. So let's see what an AD&D goblin looks like. So a goblin from AD&D. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull its stat block, but yeah, I don't have the stats here. I'd have to grab the player's handbook. Let me see. I'm curious to do a comparison.
Yeah.
In other news, since we're level 7, I now have Death Ward and Blight.
In other news, since we're level 7, I now have Polymorph.
Yeah.
I have helping people. I can block for you. I can actually increase people's AC. You will have an extra D8 AC when you're standing next to me.
I fucking love the art from this book. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So a goblin, as a comparison, a goblin in AD&D has armor class of 6, which is worse than a sahuagin by 1. They only get 1 attack, which is 1d6 by weapon. They only have 1 -1 hit die, so they have between 1 and 7 hit points. Yeah, goblins are way worse. Whereas I think they're somewhat more comparable. It's all the advantage in this. It's advantage skewing the math, right? The Maw, because people in chat were saying like, oh, the Maw of Sekula is a pushover, right? Which is fair, given that it had disadvantage and you had advantage on all of its attack, like all the attacks against it. Because it was, you fought that thing in a perfect place. That was the best place to encounter that, because it was too stupid to know that it was squished in the hallway. Also low armor class and fairly low hit points. Yeah. So
he was fine. It was just the rest of the dungeon. Well, we can't cut them off.
Yeah, I feel like from what I heard of our like mission parameters, we were technically supposed to be like sneaking around, peering in, getting a head count and leaving. but there was absolutely no way with like my character has -1 dex. There's no way that without just Jewel going by herself, we could have.
Yeah, I don't think that stealth. I think to your point earlier, Elf. I don't think that stealth was the intended plan.
No,
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just the way that like maybe it wasn't initially, right? But I think the way that like it was presented was like not. It wasn't soften them up. It was figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, so here's what the plan is presented in the game, right? Before the attack can be correctly planned and executed, a small group is needed to make a preliminary excursion into the fortress. The information gained by this reconnaissance team will allow the allies to plan a proper attack.
The information gained by this reconnaissance team, that's not kill all the guys.
No, but you're not supposed to kill all the guys anyway, right? Like there's just too many of them.
You're rewarded for it.
You're rewarded by how many you kill, but it's not about that. You can still win if you bail out.
But I think the point is, right, like when it says the information gained by this reconnaissance team, to me, what that says is there is a trigger in this dungeon where you learn the thing you need to learn to bring back.
No,
you know
see,
I mean?
That's the thing.
That is what that means to me.
Yeah, so it could have benefited from, and this isn't delivery, this is absent. There is no such objective.
Oh, totally.
Right. If it had said find out like specificity, like if it had asked you to do specific things, it would have been easier to know. But I think a lot of it is, like you said, Lauren, like pre-programming, right? Where you're like, we go into the dungeon, we kill everything till there isn't anything left in the dungeon, and then we leave.
See, my thought is that from what the text said and what you just repeated, Adam, the goals of the adventure should then have been like, if you get a semi-accurate count, if you go into most of the rooms, like that seems.
But again, going back to the strengths of the characters, you can't do that.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, we're not going to be the characters in every adventure, right?
No, but no party will. No, if you build a party where everyone is good at stealth, you're not going to be an effective party anyway, right? So it's.
I'm just wondering, like, what it was that they.
So let me read the mission goals, right? So. The mission goals. The objective of the Council of War's mission is determine the strength of the Sahuagin force. How many warriors, lieutenants, and other battle-ready troops are present.
Right.
2, locate important areas within the fortress. Where are they barracks? Where are they quartered? Where are the leaders housed? 3, discover any significant defensive measures, traps, areas readied specifically for defense, and other dangers the force must overcome or avoid. 4, discover how advanced the Sahuagin preparations are and how they might mount their first attack. Now, if there were specific things you could do in the adventure, and this is something that if you're a GM and you're watching this and you're thinking about playing this as part of the arc or just on its own, you can put specific stuff in there to be like, you have accomplished this goal. Mm-hmm. It depends on whether you want your group to know those things or not, and for it to be mechanical or not. Because I think you could approach this as saying the GM tracks victory points, the players never find out, and then you just do the assault and it plays out based on the number of victory points they got without knowing how they got the points. Or you can go the exact opposite and say, these are the goals. Here are what you will get victory points for. If you get this many victory points, it will be this successful, right? So it's whether you know the rewards in advance or vice versa.
I guess here's the thing, right? Even presenting those goals,
it still seemed
the
like
way that you are presenting them as like count out how many guys there are, check out where their barracks, check out where the fortress's defenses are. That still isn't soften them up, kill their guys.
Right. Well, no, and I'm agreeing with you. Right? You're not being rewarded for those things.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like the adventure fictionally is laying out the goals in a way that's directly contrasting with the actual goals of the adventure.
The easy fix is to just change the mission goals, right? To just be like, go in, soften them up a little, right? Knock them around and get out alive.
And literally that way you're actually going to like have a fictional idea of what those, like, even if you don't tell your party what the actual, like,
I think
3 points are, if you're telling them like, hey, go in, maybe like thin their herd a little bit, like then you would be working towards.
Right. But I think the thing is that D&D characters have a set of abilities. And any adventure that asks you to deviate too hard from those abilities is an outlier.
I definitely said at the beginning of this, our recon is killing them all because we literally could not.
Right, but it isn't. Your recon is killing as many as you think is a good amount and then bailing out before you get overwhelmed. Yeah.
But there's no way to actually get information about the lower levels, it seems, without like going to them.
and because the goal fictionally and the way it was presented was find out what's going on. we couldn't just leave after the first level. There's like things going
and
on.
that's the thing is like it shouldn't. I guess I don't know where the feeling that it's like a failure condition if you leave, right? Like because it's a recon mission. And I think that's cultural.
To figure out anything.
Feels like a failure. It's that I think we all like, I don't know. I feel like we're coming from a similar place of like the victory points rewards of the way this is designed doesn't align up particularly well with the way your characters are presented.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would have done differently is just present the War Council more aggressively and just be like, go in and find out what you can, because that is important. There are a few places where you get victory points for learning about defenses. There is a secret entrance that if you find out about it, you get a bunch of victory points. So those are still things. But yeah, I would throw in more stuff you could find out. I would assign victory point values to like the bosses, right? Because not just Kepmac and the Blade Master, but the big shark and like other things. And then make it clear that it's like go in, cause as much damage as you can. More like a sabotage mission than a recon mission, right? Like you're sappers.
That's what D&D characters do.
Yeah, because I don't think it's inherently like the way the mission is set up is bad, but there was definitely something in my mindset which made me like I wasn't sure how to approach it because I didn't think killing them was the thing we were supposed to do, but I didn't really know what else we were supposed to do. And
like D&D characters aren't really like built.
So there. I guess that's good. That's good advice for folks who want to run it themselves, right? Is like take a look at the victory points thing, try to align your group, and make sure that their expectations fit with the rest of the adventure, and that they go in not knowing because I felt like you guys were waiting for something that felt significant enough to be like, oh, we hit a checkpoint, we can get out of here.
When we saw the mall, I was like, if we kill that and we get out,
so now you could have, right? Like if you had killed that thing and got out, we would have just counted the victory points from the first and third of the second level, and then that would have been it. That would have been a correct thing to do, but it just went all fucking wacky, right? Like we were close. Like I think that this, if things had gone slightly differently, and you had ended up leaving just to get away from all of them, right? To be like, sharks can't fly, and then gone back to town, I would have been like, awesome, the adventure is over. You return to the Council of War. I would note how many victory points you have, and then we would move on into the denouement of the battle itself. But yeah, it just isn't clear, and I think that we forget sometimes how much like standard D&D mode baggage we carry around with us when we play an adventure. We're like, I assume the adventure wants me to do this thing. Murder. But if you were assuming that, then we wouldn't have had any of the problems. It was assuming that it wanted something different.
Oh no, I just also don't see how a 4-member 6-level party could have killed like 30 guys in a hallway.
There was, with balance, as we always end up saying, it's really swingy in this
spreading
game.
the needle.
We rolled very poorly in some instances.
Our characters, our group, if I were to assign us an APL, which is what we do, we would either be weak or potentially very weak. Because
I rolled 4 8s. Makaria is
no, it's not about stat bonuses. It's about the way the party is composed but also, Dave, like you're playing a character race and class combination that's more powerful than your average. Yeah, right.
My character's too strong.
Yeah, we're talking about like Adventurers League stuff and like figuring out party level. So the adventure is technically for 4 to 6 characters of 7th level. So you're definitely under leveled and on the other, but it doesn't make that much difference. Like I don't think another level for everybody or another character would have done it.
Actually,
what's that?
For me specifically, having. Yeah.
Okay, but again, remember that fight would have gone on. That was one room of 4 rooms of that size that would just keep. More of them would just keep coming. Like once it gets to a certain point, like I can throw sahuagin at you until you're dead. So I don't think a couple of levels would do it.
Here's the thing. I don't even think it was the number of sahuagin or even the encounter that was like necessarily bad. It was the water.
The water was hard.
Water, we would have been fine. It would have been perfectly fine.
There were too many, like, because you don't do sort of modular number bonuses. Instead, it switches you flip on and off.
Yeah.
We had all the hard switches flipped on at the same time.
Yeah.
Which does a lot more than, like, they have a +3 attack.
Yeah, having all of those things, like this was the thing that like normally 8 it's near impossible to hit you with creatures of this low attack bonus, but they all have advantage and they all have multiple attacks. So I'm making, 10, 12, 16 attacks a turn.
About one level, I would have had control water in one level.
Right, but I mean, control water is not going to solve every problem for the whole dungeon.
It would have cleared the hallway, so he didn't. So
we could have certainly done better.
Yes, yeah, it would have helped for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think we would have not died.
Oh no, not with 4 other rooms, which is also like, okay, so again, like, how would a party of 4 to 6, 7th level characters supposed to clear out? I mean, I guess we're not supposed to. I feel
like we could have used some kind of like. And this might be something for, enterprising dungeon masters, like some kind of alarm level or something in the dungeon, like how alert the dungeon is to your presence. There's little bits and pieces here, but I tend to prefer mechanisms over advice. So like some kind of tracker where I'm like,
that would be so cool.
Yeah, where it's like
otherwise it's kind of fear of how far can people hear when people yell? How many rooms over can you hear combat from? And since this is small enough, it's like 1 million. Like everyone can hear.
Yeah.
If you did it like a system like that, that would be really awesome.
Yeah, some kind of tracker that would raise the level of threat within the dungeon.
Like the dudes don't even spawn until you hit. Like coral smashes start coming in once you've raised to 2nd level.
And this is the thing, right? Like we're talking about like a specific experience of the dungeon, and obviously like other people will have a different experience. If you've played through the first 2 adventures, you're going to be way more prepared to fight underwater and all of that crap, right? Because you've done water stuff in the first 2, so you may have like thought about it in advance, taken spells for it or whatever.
Put on really tall hats so things can't swim.
I think exactly, big spike things. I think the thing is that the premise and the mechanisms of the adventure, they're only misaligned like a tiny bit. I think you can very easily adjust it by just having the proposition of the adventure be presented to the characters as like you're a sabotage team. This is a raid. You're not here to kill all of them, but go in, cause as much damage as you can, and then run like hell, and then we'll follow up with the assault.
All we need is Rin to learn sahuagin and then have like a +10 to her persuasion bonus, and then you can that 8 is their god. That would have solved the adventure for her.
Yeah, being able to speak Aquan wouldn't have helped anybody because they don't speak Aquan; they speak sahuagin.
Yeah, it would have had to be sahuagin.
Mm-hmm.
Find one nice sahuagin to teach you sahuagin.
Yeah, I'm really interested in. I know there's another campaign on the Wizards D&D channel doing like a Saltmarsh thing, so it'd be interesting to see how they do it. But I'm really curious about actual play reports from the version from the 80s, like the AD&D version. I would love to see kind of how it compares and the way that the play style is different between the 2. But yeah, so that's Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I think that it's a cool adventure in the sense that I think it's given us a lot of like new stuff to look at in terms of like that expectation versus reward thing. I like the victory points thing. I'm going to steal that for other adventures.
I think
that's very cool.
That's really cool way of measuring progress. That's not just murder. Like you could even take that and turn it into EXP in something like a D&D sort of module.
Yeah, it is a bit funny that the adventure it uses milestones, but milestones is easiest, right? Like complete an adventure, get the level.
Yeah, there are really interesting mechanics that don't make it into the full game, that make it into certain specific adventures. Yeah. I came across one. I did an Adventurers League module for some people a little while ago, and they had a really cool system of doing there was a murder thing that went on, and you had to confront this enemy to tell him that one of his like compatriots was like working against him, whatever. And they had the whole system written out in the adventure for the different pieces of evidence that you could find, and they had like a tally system for how many good points you made.
I love that stuff.
Persuasion things, and it had different outcomes for the next fight based on whether you got 1, 2, or 3 like points in the negotiation game.
Oh, nice!
It just hasn't made it into the full game.
Well, I think that's a reason. That's a reason to buy adventures, even if you don't run them. Like, because I feel like every adventure, and I haven't I've like flipped through Strahd, and I'm vaguely familiar with the Giants one.
That is good shit.
But for me, I read an adventure not just to play the adventure, but because I want other systems I can use. Like I've used the hex crawl stuff from Tomb in other D&D games, right? There's always bits and pieces that you can grab. Like Saltmarsh has all the boat stuff, like a finished version of all the boat combat, and I think if you're gonna play a boat game, then this is where you're gonna get those rules. So it's interesting to see, and I think that's a pretty normal thing for like OSR and D&D adventures. You get these little bits and pieces of mechanisms they designed specifically for this thing, and then you can apply it to your other bits in your campaign. But yeah, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. This is just like a little tiny piece. This is a little tiny bit of the greater Saltmarsh adventure. There are, I think, 5 or 6 other adventures crossing a whole bunch of different levels. Some of them are good for one shots. Some of them are part of a larger campaign, like this one. And you can find all of that stuff on the Roll20 marketplace if you want to go and check it out yourself. If you want boats, if you desperately need boats. I have a longer version of kind of the discussion of the module and all the stuff that goes into it over on my YouTube channel. But otherwise, the best way to do it, and the best way to do an adventure is to just do it, I guess, or watch somebody else try to do it. And I like that we had a chance to sit down and talk a little bit at the end about like the structure of it and some of that. I think that's really cool. So thanks, friends. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the time we got. So we will bid you farewell. We're going to return, I suppose, then next week to the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, where we will live for the foreseeable future.
Where are we? Are we starting the floor fresh, or do we like?
We can figure it out. Yeah, it's fine either way. This can very easily be like a weird Halaster illusion if you want to just pick up where we left off.
Yeah, I think we were in level 2 or 3.
We've got so many toys. 2 levels worth of toys for the dungeon.
If you already leveled up, you have to do it again in the other account, because otherwise I'll have to copy your characters back over, and then
level 7.
So just jump back over to the other Mad Mage, go to the Mad Mage account, and update your characters. I can put them in the character vault if you want. If you're going to be lazy about it, I can do that.
We could do it ourselves.
But you can, yeah, that's true. You should be able to do it too. So we'll come back and you'll all wake up in the dungeon and wonder why you're all so damp. And we will carry on with the Dungeon of the Mad Mage next time. And in the meantime, everybody here is always up to doing things. So let's find out where we can do that. Let's start with Blue Jay. Blue Jay, do it.
It's me. I unmuted. Hi, I'm Blue Jay. You can find me over at twitch.tv/BlueJay, where I started a Dragon Age Origins run and then got distracted by a Stardew Valley tournament. But I'll be back to Dragon Age Origins now that the Stardew Valley is over. So you can see that. And then I'm also on Twitter, at BlueJay_712. And Lauren and I did a cosplay of the D&D characters that died today that didn't really die. And those pictures will be going up soon on my Patreon. Links on my Twitter.
I have some behind the scenes ones.
Yeah, I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Cool. Down below, it's Dave. Dave.
Hello. I can't stop thinking about this dungeon level alarm thing now. I think I already don't have enough time to do things like that, but that sounds so cool.
That is the kind of thing that the world needs, and that would be great. Like it'd be a great buy on the DM's Guild, right? Can I just have it? I'm not going to develop it. I ain't got time for that shit. You do it.
Hell yes. All right, sweet. For my stuff, I'm not doing this. Unfortunately, I had to shelve some summoner stuff. You can check my Twitter if you want to check some more of that. Apparently, my other temp work was like, oh yeah, this stuff we had to do for like August. We actually meant June. I was like, okay.
Months are hard. Calendar's hard.
So yes. So we're still on the 0.1 version of that, though I've put most of the feedback in. So thank you everybody who's checked that out so far and given me feedback. It's been super helpful. Other stuff I'm going to be doing, there's a Final Fantasy 14 expansion by the end of the week. I will probably just stream myself without a camera or anything on there so people can give me money while I play a video game I was going to play anyway. And that's going to be at Dave_human on Twitter.
Thanks.
Twitch.
Twitch, which
Thanks.
you can get the link from your Twitter.
Yeah.
Cool. Down over here, it's Lauren. Do the thing, Lauren.
It's me, Random Tuesday. You can find me pretty much all the places at Random Tuesday. I do a lot of cosplay on stream, as evidenced by the mess that is behind me. And so you can check out all my cosplay work on social media and my website and Patreon. Otherwise, sometimes I play video games when I force myself to take breaks from cosplay, which is the thing that I'm theoretically doing. She says, having worked on a project yesterday on stream. You're doing great. But
Working is taking a break, right?
I was like, I'm not allowed to sew. I'm starting a sewing project.
Good.
Like
Good.
a day of each other.
Nicely done.
But we did pictures with, I don't actually know where Blue Jay isn't on the screen in relation to
Like
me.
over
Very
here
excited.
somewhere. And like,
Adam took them. They looked really cool. The like view that I saw on the camera. I have
Yeah.
some behind the scenes post pictures. So I will also make sure that your underwear is not in the picture because I heard that that's going up on your Patreon.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for that. Blue Jay. Thanks a lot.
Random Tuesday. Yeah, that's it. Me.
Good stuff. Last but not least, playing Rin Stillwater. Winner in Stillwater. It's Distracted Elf.
Hello, friends. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. Currently, I am playing a bunch of a weird game called Kenshi, where I'm naming a bunch of post-apocalyptic miscreants after chat. So, you should come and
That seems cool.
Yeah, it's pretty all right.
It's really weird and fun to watch.
Nice.
That's my whole deal.
Good.
So.
That's a good deal. I like it. Cool. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. You're going to see me next on Wednesday morning with my weekly Ravnica themed Dungeons and Dragons show right here on twitch.tv/DND. That's at 9:00. It's called Jace Bellerin Must Die. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It is very silly. And we don't have any Dave to make sure that we get the rules right or even use most of them. So if you're looking for a little bit of alternate take on Dungeons and Dragons or you're a fan of magic, come and check that out. Otherwise, you can find me at Skinny Ghost on Twitter or twitch.tv/Adam Coble or right here in the same time as usual with these nerds. We're going to be coming back with Mad Mage next time. So I hope you will tune in. And that's it for us. We will see you all next time. Hey, everybody. Whether you're a brand new fan or a longtime viewer, you can support the show and the cast of Roll20 Presents by going to roll20.net/start/Roll20Presents and signing up for a free account. Dungeon Masters will find maps, tokens, and a cornucopia of exciting tools to improve their game. Players will gain access to built-in character sheets with support for dozens of different role-playing games. No matter what role you take, our quantum randomized dice roller is there to keep the action moving. Don't wait to join the party. Sign up today at roll20.net/start/Roll20Presents.